Adam and myself, Chad, we're gonna walk you guys through everything that's gonna go into a brand book and why you need it.
A brand book acts as a guide for your company that can be used by your employees to maintain visual consistency as you're creating assets throughout the lifespan of the brand. Then it's super important to have for your brand in order to maintain a consistent voice, tone, and overall appearance of your brand.
So why do you need a brand book? A brand book is essential for a company to create brand recognition for their clientele or the type of people they're trying to target. So, for example, Barbie owns their pink, Target owns their red, Starbucks owns their green. That's just colors, which is just one facet of a brand book. There are other facets that go into it. But as you guys can see, and as you guys would know, when you see those colors, you can understand and already get a gauge of who that brand is, what kind of product they are going to be, producing or targeting you guys with. But that is one of the main reasons why you want to create a brand book, is to get that brand recognition out to your audience.
Typically, your brand book will contain rules of how to use your logos, your colors, your typography, how your imagery and graphic elements should be used, as well as any sort of design direction. So first, for logos, typically a brand book will break down your logo and all of its sub-variations, such as word marks, letter marks, icons, emblems, anything of that nature. And then for color, usually your brand book will break down all the different colors in your palette, as well as your tonal variations and secondary colors. And then also your brand book's going to break down your typography, and that'll be the different fonts that you're using, the different weights that you're using, and how those fonts and weights should be combined in order to create visual hierarchy in your type.
Within typography, you're gonna wanna establish a headline font, subhead font, body copy font, and any sort of display font that's gonna go along with your brand. A display font's gonna be something that's gonna be a little bit more artistic, something that's gonna make the brand stand out a little bit more. You can maybe use that for CTAs or buttons, but those are kind of what you're looking for. So other things that also go into a brand book, icons are one of them. And one of the main reasons why you want icons and graphic elements is because these certain things are gonna represent objects or shapes on whether it's the print platform, digital platforms. But the key thing that you're going to want to look for is when you're choosing icons or some sort of texture or pattern, you want the weight and the thickness to kind of match and mirror your type. So if you're going to go with a thinner type, you probably want an outlined icon. If you're going to go with a thicker type, you probably want a filled in icon or a heavier texture. But that's kind of what you're looking for when you're choosing those things. In terms of photography, some of the things you want to look for when you're searching for inspiration with photos is depth of field, what kind of subject you're looking for, if you want the main subject matter to be a person, if you want it to be an object. Those whole things kind of go back to what you want your voice and tone to kind of look like. So if you're going to be more of a consumer brand, you obviously want the images that you're looking for to be more interactive, so you kind of establish that human interaction in just like what your product is kind of be pitching to your audience overall. So the other thing you're also going to want to establish is some sort of, if you're going to have an overlay that's going to be consistent, whether it's kind of like a duotone where you're going to have colors coming into play, black and white, just kind of establishing what all the possible looks and treatments of photography would be. So lastly, whenever you're establishing a brand book, you're going to want to establish some design inspiration or just a design direction. Now for us, when we're making a brand book, this is where we kind of do a bunch of research and we're trying to find things that are going to create a consistent look and show our clients what our direction we are going to be taking their product, whether it's print, digital, web. We're going to throw all that inspiration onto a board so that whenever we create something, it's not going to be a complete surprise to them. They're going to know what's coming. They're going to know what the look is going to be, how it's going to feel, how it's all going to kind of break down and flow through their brand.
Next, we're going to go over the importance of updating your brand book every few years. It's natural for your brand to grow over time, and you're going to want to go back every few years and make sure you're keeping things up to date. So in conclusion, it's important for your brand to have a brand book. It's going to house all the important elements that you're going to need throughout the life of your brand and helps you to maintain consistency of all of your elements. It's extremely important that you have a single spot for all of your visual elements to be housed in one place so that it's ready to access anytime you need it and to help you maintain consistency.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something from two members of the design team. We're gonna continue to put videos out like this, and if you need help making your brand book, you can win an award like this.